Hello and welcome guys, gals, and pals. Today I have a slim tutorial on my Melody crochet sweater scarf pattern. Although this looks like a complex pattern, I assure you that it is easy enough for a beginner. The written pattern for this project is available on my blog at misscraftsloveslair.com, and a print-friendly PDF can be found on Ravelry and also in my shop. Direct links will be found in the description below. The materials you will need for this pattern are a size K 6.5mm hook, or the size that you need to achieve a gauge, a yarn needle, at least 2 stitch markers, and I will get into why that is in a bit, worsted weight yarn of your choice. Scissors are also needed, but I didn't show those. We'll start off by making our chain, leaving a tail longer than I did. I'm only going to be working 30 stitches of this pattern for this tutorial, but you will be chaining more due to the fact that this pattern is worked lengthwise. Place a stitch marker in the stitch listed in the pattern. Stitches before this pattern are the first sleeve stitches. Continue your chain. You can use other stitch markers if needed to keep track of how many chains you have made. I place a second stitch marker as I am chaining the sample, but in the pattern this step is part of row 1. For the first row, we're going to single crochet in the second chain and along the sleeve stitches. To make the single crochet, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull that loop through the chain only, so you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again and pull that through both of those loops. If you need to rewind and slow this video down more to see how I do this, you can under the video settings. Place your marker to show where this sleeve ends. Here I made 10 single crochets, but you'll have more. The body of the scarf is worked in the griddle stitch. I'm demonstrating this using an even amount of stitches, however in the pattern this is worked over an odd number. Start off with a single crochet in the first stitch. The second stitch is a double crochet. To make the double crochet stitch, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, and pull through the stitch. 3 loops should be on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops. Yarn over again and pull through those last 2 remaining loops. You're going to alternate between single crochet and double crochet until you reach your marked chain. When you are done with this portion of the pattern, the double crochets will be bumped out the wrong way on the first row. So it's a good place to check to see if it looks like all those are evenly spaced. Single crochet in the marked stitch and move your marker up. Now we're going to continue in single crochet to the end of the chain. After that last single crochet, you are going to chain one and turn your work. To work the single crochet ribbing for the sleeves, we're working single crochet in the back loop only. Looking at the top of row 1, you'll see that your stitches make a V shape. To make a back loop only stitch, we're going to be working around that part of the V that is farther away from us. Make a single crochet around the back loop of each stitch until you have stitched the marked stitch and move the marker up. For row 2 of the griddle stitch, we are going to work double crochets in the top of the single crochets and a single crochet in the top of the double crochets. For this demonstration, this first stitch is a double crochet, so I'm going to single crochet into the top of that. Remember that in the pattern, this will be opposite because of it being an odd number of stitches. Second stitch is a single crochet, so I will make a double crochet into that. Repeat this until we get to the marked stitch. Once again, we are going to be single crocheting in the back loop only. I'm going to move this marker so I can make the stitch to put it back in the newly made stitch and continue single crocheting in back loop only to the end of the row. You can see how the back loop stitches create a ridge on the sleeve portion. Chain 1 and turn. Row 3 is similar to row 2. We're going to be working single crochet in the back loop only of the sleeve stitches again. I am going to take this opportunity while I stitch to remind you to like this video if you're liking this pattern. Also, if you haven't already, now is a good time for you to subscribe to this channel. Be sure to hit that bell to get notifications when new videos are uploaded. Finally, if you know someone who may also enjoy this pattern, be sure to share this video with them. All of these things help my little channel and help me get closer to my lofty little goals for this year. That being said, let's get back to the pattern. Move the marker. Again, we're going to single crochet into the top of the double crochets and double crochet in the top of the single crochets across the body. Move the marker and single crochet in back loop only of this sleeve's stitches. As you can see, the rows of the ribbing for the sleeves are already visibly shorter than the rows of the body. You're going to continue to work these rows until your piece measures the length given in the pattern when measuring the body section. I'm going to continue off camera and meet you back here to show you how to finish this sweater scarf. I've worked my sample up to the body being 4 inches, with that last row worked being a right side or even row. I'm going to fold my work so the chain row and the last row meet, with my last row closest to me. Then, using the back loops of both rows, I'm going to slip stitch the rows of the sleeve closed, stopping at that marked stitch of the last row and the corresponding stitch from the chain. Cut your yarn and pull the end through and weave in the ends. This is what it's going to look like right side. Making sure the seams are on the same sides, do the same as the first sleeve to the second, using the tail at the beginning of the chain. If you were like me and didn't leave enough to slip stitch, you can use your yarn needle and whip stitch the stitches together, either using the tail you left or an added length of yarn. Again, use the back loop only of each of these rows. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful. Until next time.